I tell you, the music has been banging here in Manchester, of course, a big home of music in the United Kingdom, and we come back for a matchup. Things mellow out. There's some mellow piano music to really get you into the action for the next one. Team Secret playing against FaZe Clan. Secret in more ways than one, a dark horse. And FaZe Clan, honestly, some would even consider them the best team in the world, because they were so close to winning it so many times. But hey, we're back on the analyst desk. I'm Milosh, with me are Alphama and Fresh. Fresh, please, resident knower of Secret. What is their secret to get to here and perform in Phase 2?
Well, Team Secret, they obviously qualified through EUL and they were amazing. It was a lot of pocket plays, I will say, but a lot of confidence led by the guy at the front, the young 18-year-old rookie, Adrian.
If you look at them right now, I think they've rebuilt the right way during SI. They use this time off to really make the team better around the strong core of players. Miracle, Grubby, Savage, amazing players in Europe. And then you just have these two last elements with Jum and Adrian, and you have a perfect team to start with a fresh start at a major.
Of course, Jum and Adrian have been applauded throughout the stage in EU, not just, by us, I guess, but also by Fabian. Everybody remembers the interview that we've had that left everybody in tears at the end of it. But that's just the passion and the love that we have involved in Europe, but also globally, because FaZe, on the other hand, have shed many, many tears. How many tears were just dropped in blood and sweat at SI24, where FaZe should, by all means, have won that 5th Nighthaven Labs map.
Yeah, I mean, the last time anybody saw this team at an international event, it was KDS and Handine. It was the brother walk around after FaZe had lost the 6th Invitational Grand Final. Obviously, we did then watch a trophy lift, but that will be the lasting memory of FaZe. We'll be seeing them having lost that best of 5 when the hammer was in the palm of their hands. They're back, they're hungrier than ever, they went unbeaten through Brazil, and they're desperate for this major right now.
I remember at this time, at the grand final of SI, everybody looked at each other, and every round that they kept getting come back on, I was like, how is this happening? And then after they lost, I was like, how are they gonna bounce back from that? How is it happening? And I was so surprised, happily surprised, to see how dominant they were in Brazil. And they're coming in here, and I'm not afraid to say it. I actually believe that they're better than Furia, previous W7M. I think actually right now, FaZe is the best team in the world. And I think they are the favorite to take the event. They deserve it. It's been so long.
Absolutely. I don't think there can be any argument around this. They are the most tested team, and we can talk and shill BDS to hell and back. But we have not seen BDS really play against the top teams in the world. Yes, they've had multi in the meantime, but that's completely different. We're on different levels of competition here at the major. Though, our focus will be our map bans in this case. And of course, we're playing a best of ones here in the Swiss bracket, but everybody needs to play one another, etc. Here we are. We go to Chalet, our decider picked up by Secret as they had banned Consulate with FaZe on Defense Jack.
Do you know what's curious about this, Milosh? We've not seen these teams play this map for a hell of a long time. Both.
Whoa.
Secret have not played it since, well, they've not played it with this roster, but it was EUL, I believe it was EUL Stage 1 2023 when they last played Chalet against Virtus Pro. And for FaZe, they've not played it, I believe, since the Copenhagen Major. So we don't actually know what to expect. These teams don't actually know what to expect on this map.
And what it tells me right now is that FaZe let it through at the first game of their major, which goes to show they actually have a perma-ban that has disappeared. They've taken all the right steps to have the biggest map pool possible. Right now they have all the maps in their control. They're able to play it, which is super impressive. And I'm thinking, yeah, they put in the work to be able to finally win here.
I think FaZe are trying to assert dominance on a map that's maybe lower down the preference order, but if they come out today in a best of 1 and put a big performance in, it will assert dominance for future map ban phases.
All right, Fresh, Alphama, thank you very much. Let's see what potentially the best team in the world in FaZe can do against Team Secret, underdogs for many, many months now. Our casters, Dev Marta and Lynx, take it away.
Thank you very much, Milosh. This is a huge game, a big opportunity for Secret to look for an upset, and a huge chance for FaZe Clan to show us what they are truly made of after being the runners-up, the finalists, and just a single round away from world champions a couple of months ago in their home country of Brazil. Here they are on the other side of the world, and of course, Secret, well, this is the home country for a few of their players. We're here in Manchester, and the debut for these teams, of course, here at the Major.
And also, Alphama talked about, oh, look at how FaZe have bounced back and all that stuff. Bouncing back, by the way, doesn't really convey the extent of it. They bounce back by choking probably one of the most heartbreaking matches any of these players have ever played in. And they bounce back by not dropping a single map in Brazil. Yeah. Sure, they went to OT on a couple maps. They were 1 or 2 rounds away from losing, but they didn't drop a single L inside of Brazil to get here. And as Leo talked about as well, they've not played Chile in over a calendar year, a year and a week or so since they last played Chile. And they've brought it out here as a statement, Dev. Our map pool is just as deep as you think it is. We're still FaZe Clan. We're still here to show up. And ultimately, as you said, Secret have performed good inside of Europe. A very pleasant surprise that they're here. But in a best of one against FaZe, where they brought out a permaban as the one map they're going to play in this series, I think they might be a bit out of their depth.
This is certainly going to be a bit of a David and Goliath. Yes, you're right. And just to triple down on what you were saying, that's 13 maps in a row that FaZe have won. Undefeated, right? Ever since SI, it has been their world. We're just living in it. And yeah, these guys are the favorites to the major. I think there is still a chance that it could be a shake-up. BDS obviously looking great.
That's true.
I don't want to count out Furia just yet.
Of course.
World champions for a reason. They've won every event for the last year. But yeah, Secret, I'm having a look at Twister there. He's looking very happy. He's looking fired up. And Secret know what they're getting into. They had a great stage as well. They qualified by taking down Wolves in their final matchup. And they took some pretty big scalps as well during the stage. It's been far from flawless, but now they really get to show us what they're made of.
They can, but something we do have to talk about, I will say, getting directly into the game is FaZe don't have, consistent bans. They're very flexible when they're with their operator bans. They might ban, a Solus one day, a Zombie the next on the same map. They banned Glaz here.
Yeah.
On Chile. They've banned Glaz. When's the last time you saw a Glaz ban? I doubt if I poured through Liquipedia, I could find one in a meaningful game if I looked for basically to any extent.
Yeah, it's certainly not a common ban, and it really goes to show that FaZe have really vodded Secret, and they know that they like these set pieces. We're seeing a couple of set piece operators come out. I'm mainly thinking about the Capitao here. Great on Chalet, just like the Glaz can be as well. But you just drain away some of these complementary operators that combo really well together, like the Glaz, the Capitao, the Glaz, the Sens, and just, I guess, restricts some of the ability on the attack to go for those explosive pushes. But of course, we've gone down to Dining to kick off this game. And FaZe are really just sitting back. They're not having to overextend too much. Secret don't really have any boots in the building as of yet.
That just changes momentarily, though, as Joom, Miracle, Grubby all making their way inside. And you mentioned pretty much everybody from FaZe either inside or around each other.
Oh, what? Cyber! Hello? Did you see him, mate? Joom's right around the corner.
Joom's just asleep at the wheel, unfortunately. Cyber rotates literally right in front of the sledge, and he's made his way back. But as I was going to say, FaZe are often 4 people on site or around the site on an extension. Cyber's the only exception. Yeah. Always the solo roamer, and he's so good on that roll. He's made his way back, dropped down, and it's actually Grubby to find the first pick. Handy cut down, pushed up aggressively inside of Office. And a minute 20 seconds in, Secret are already pressuring Master Bedroom and have a 5v3. This is a beautiful start.
Yeah, this is legendary from them. KDS does manage to escape just briefly. He's tempted to continue poising around Solar. Another track stinger does go out from the gridlock. KDS in a bit of a pickle at the moment as Savage takes down Cyber. This has been a dominating start from Secret. Now just looking to consolidate. Don't have to over-aggress, don't have to overcomplicate things. They can sit pretty, wait for the players to peek on out. Savage does spot out KDS. Oh, but he takes his head straight on off. KDS then eventually traded on back by Groovy. And a phenomenal opening round from the Europeans.
Insane start. I mean, we single, double, and triple down on how much of an overdog FaZe are. By far and away the favorites, not only to win this match, but obviously go deep into the tournament. We spend like 3 minutes praising FaZe. And how do Secret respond? Basically a flawless round, only dropping 1 player when it was a 2v4 and then immediately trading it out. Basically as flawless as you can get. And overall, it wasn't, even though this is a new map for FaZe, it's about how I'd expect FaZe to play Chalet. You have Cyber on Solus doing his thing on the opposite side of the map, and then you have 3 players holding the extension up above, supported by an anchor down below, but with hatches open to facilitate rotations. 4 players all clustered together, Cyber by himself. That's a FaZe defense on pretty much every map they play, every map in their pool. And what do Secret do? 1, they push in very quickly, they take that control, but 2, before FaZe can actually get that trading structure and position, they're able to take a 1v1 against Handy, pressure them even more, and cause, surprisingly, some mistakes from FaZe Clan. Not crucial ones, but a player to overstep, a player to understep, and get caught off guard. And that's something that we don't see a lot of teams do. It's only one round, to be fair. Not doom or gloom for
It's
FaZe.
early days.
Not guaranteed Secret will win, but that's a really good start to basically dismantle FaZe's biggest strength as a team.
Yeah, and they looked so good at it. That's the real difference maker for me, Carter, is just how convincing this round looked. Ruby found the opening pick. Just great teamwork. Like, they isolate these players. They use the hard breach to open up these walls. They capitalize quite handily on their positions. And I love the energy. Straight out of the gates. Like, just fired up, ready to go. No fear, as it should be. Even when you're playing against one of the best teams in the world. It's up to Cyber and the boys to lock in now for FaZe. We talked about this map pick, Carter. Chalet is not a common one we see out of FaZe. In fact, it's their most banned map in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And they haven't played this for a hell of a long time. It's not Secret's favorite map either, but we have seen them play it far more recently than we've seen FaZe Clan. They had a really solid win over Ents in the Malta Cyber Series. But yeah, not many games for sure on this very map.
5 seconds left.
FaZe starting out 0-1, but still very recoverable. You see a bit of an operator change. Of course, we saw Cyber on that Solus in the previous round. She's still here. Souls has instead picked up that mantle. No dedicated Solus player, just because she's left up doesn't mean Cyber will play her. But it does mean, though, that Cyber will just take the Valkyrie and likely play exactly the same as he has before. Going for a roam up around the second and first floor. It is a basement defense, as you can see. So Soul's playing a bit more of a bridge position. He'll sit on the site. He'll allow players to fall back while also contesting that important position, which is the kitchen and dining area. You get that hatch control as an attacker, a wine plant is so much easier. And you can see that seems to be what Secret early on are gunning for. They've opened up the snowmobile wall very early on, and are getting utility in place to clear out this position, and again, take quick control away from FaZe.
I like this. Chabatow to come on out. Vidiking does fall on back. He's looking to re-aggress, though. This could be very cheeky. The shotgun finds the kill. Adrian can trade. Vidiking worth his weight in gold there, taking down a very pivotal player. Miracle elsewhere has been thwarted by Souls. FaZe looking very solid. Secret had a nice little set piece to clear this position, but the Brazilians will not let up.
Yeah, these set pieces from Secret have been good these past 2 rounds to get very early control and get a pick, but here, FaZe actually ready for it, able to fight back. They were caught off guard in round 1, but this time Souls is ready, Vidiking ready to get that 5v4 in the first place. Great awareness from FaZe that Secret already 1 round in, FaZe are ready for the game plan. All right, they're gonna push quickly, get that control, we'll have to deal with it, but Cyber.
Wow.
He's had a rough stage so far. Only a 0.9 rating inside of Brazil, to be fair. It's not the worst thing in the world, but not nearly the world beater he can be sometimes. And unfortunately, with that missed shot, now a 3v3. Secret, 1 minute 20 seconds to go. Have a lot of time to adjust, but don't have the advantage. And KDS, Souls, and Handy on the site. I can't think of a more lethal 3v3 to have to deal with.
It's true, but FaZe, it is going to be a tough pill to swallow nonetheless. The fact that they were up a player and then lost Cyber far away off site. Ruby is able to get his Twitch thrown into sight. He might be able to find that Evil Eye. He actually gets off of it. I just realized the diffuser is cold on the ground the other side. None of these players have it. So even should they find a way in here, they're not going to be able to look for a plant. I mean, this player, I believe it was Miracle, taken out outside the snowmobile breach.
You can see Joom rotating.
Yeah, it's going to have to make good on this, but I don't think there's going to be a plant opportunity for him.
I don't think so. And with no flashes, only really the EE1Ds to make this push easier. Secret are running out of options to find a way to get this round in their favor.
He's rotating back again. So this is going to be a wine cellar execute. Adrian, oh my god, there's so much indecision. It's forcing Secret to play against the clock here. 25 seconds left to go. They are going to have no second chances. They have to go deep. And they have to make good on this execute. KDS looks to worm his way forward. Can't find the jewel he's looking for. The cover is there for Secret. It is phenomenal. Back-to-back rounds for the Europeans as they're taking FaZe to the cleaners.
And ultimately, we were worried that they were spending so much time to get that diffuser, then to rotate back, but they settle on the right decision, which is okay. If we can get the diffuser insight, if we can get Joom in the position, in that default spot through that wine breach, we can win the round. Why can we win the round? Well, if they don't counter that player pushing in, if they don't take him down, we've got a guy watching blue, and we've got that long angle from Big Garage, seeing if anybody retakes through connector. So the 2 positions that FaZe could retake through on the level of the bomb site were covered by Secret. And when they win those 1v1s, it goes from a very difficult and potentially problematic 3v3 to a very easy and well-played round from Secret, making great use of the time they had, well, to come up with that 3v3.
They used every little inch of that time that they had. I mean, 30 seconds left to go, and we're still going and rotating to get the diffuser, bringing it on back, rotating positions, but they identified so quickly what they needed to do. It was not a great position when you lose diffuser on the wrong side of the map, when you have to make a call. Where are we going to try and execute? But they had only 3 players. They stapled them in the perfect positions to make that plant work and cover it, and it's beautiful. Now FaZe really are on the ropes. They need to fire up here. I mean, attack is a little bit more lethal on Chalet than on some other maps, so FaZe don't have to worry too much about the fact that they're on necessarily a heavily favored side. But you really would expect them to have a lot more success than we've seen in these last 2 rounds on their defensive Chalet.
And I think a big concern that we could have is Cyber, right? I mean, he's one of the best players in the world when he is on, but given the nature of the system, if he's on an island by himself, it could prove to be problematic. But actually right here, you can see he's with the rest of the team, playing behind his shield. There is a heavy hold around Library, pushing into Piano, pushing into Library itself. You can see Vidiking in that sort of death position that, well, a Capitao will often firebolt and try to work that player out. With no Wamai on the board, Vidiking will have to give it up very, very quickly. No dock, nothing whatsoever, so you'll fall back down and hold stock. This is a normal start, a minute into a clear of Baron games, and now falls onto KDS, Cyber, and Souls to hold down this top floor. Handy also supporting Vidiking down below. Very nice, of course, and if Secret buy into this clear, these 3 players on the top floor need to fall. Not necessarily entirely, but they've got to get an advantage, got to get a kill, or at least clear these players out in good time.
Good crossfires held, though, by FaZe. Secret is still trying to identify the best way to actually get into this building. They've cleared out some of these key positions, but not nearly enough of them. And without much pressure on the opposite side of the map, it's going to be hard to clear these players at mezzanine. Despite that good little bit of hard reach, Vidiking does find the opener. It's seemingly a form of execute has shaped up. The Cyber is still holding on to display, and it's not looking too hot for Secret. They are a player down, but they do find some form of reply in the form of Doom. Hold on. It's a bloodbath back and forth here. There's still this duel happening on the top floor. Meanwhile, pressure on the site has bled bodies away from both teams. Solid position still from FaZe held.
The round could still hinge, again, 2 in a row on Cyber's position. If he wins this fight, they might be able to secure it. But even if Secret trade him and go 2v2, they could still have a winnable round here. Cyber's got to get a kill to make this impactful.
DMR round the corner, he wins the fight! Cyber changed his mind at the last moment and he pays for it. 2v3 now for the Brazilians, still searching for their very first round. And Vidiking may be the one to give it to them. He finds one, but he is traded on back by Miracle, leading up to a 1v2 for poor Handy. Low HP on Adrian, the newest in the roster. And he's the one that must now clutch up for Secret. Handy holds his position. Adrian injured, but not out as of yet. Low HP. Handy must hold firm. He's got the stronger position. All he needs to land is a single bullet, but Adrian gets him! The newbie on the roster steps up for Secret. When he's called upon, he delivers.
Henny hit some shots there. You saw how low health Adrian was. Henny still hit him and did not secure the kill. Handy has been one of the most impressive players we've seen this entire past year, and I'm talking calendar year. On FaZe, he has been one of my favorite players to watch. And what do we have? A 1v1 that he normally does not lose. And FaZe, who have not won a round so far. And this isn't sure, maybe you could say is a FaZe that's a little weaker just because of how strong they have been. But I think the big worry I have right now is FaZe are seeing their weaknesses in previous rounds, correcting for it, and still they're down 0-3. And when I say that, and I imagine Rafael is probably talking about something similar, Cyber has been caught out 2 rounds in a row now. In the previous round, in round 2, the Valkyrie caught out, loses the fight, that gets Secret back into the game. FaZe adjust. They put him closer to the setup, and somehow Secret still find a way to isolate him.
This was devastating, right? So
that's what I'm talking about.
Doesn't commit to the peak. He goes for a 180 on a 1-speed operator. He's running away from a fight. So uncharacteristic. And there's Adrian, the second youngest player in the tournament, and the newest on this roster of Secret. The Polish young gunner comes up when he is needed for Secret. Who up 3-0 against world finalists. How are FaZe dropping the ball like this after winning 13 maps in a row in the lead up to this tournament? Could this be their first loss in 3 months?
It's the attacking side on Chalet, but with FaZe still putting up a decent performance and keeping their strength at recognizing their mistakes and adapting to what their opponents are doing. And Secret still finding success 3 rounds in a row. Even if it came down to a 1v1, they still had the advantage. They still had the 3v2. And they dealt with both players roaming off site, Souls and then Cyber, to make that advantage a reality. Even if Vidiking did get that first pick, Secret identified the way back in to round 3, and they made it work. 3 rounds now gone. And FaZe now going all the way up to Master Bedroom. It was not a kitchen dining defense the first round, as I thought it was. Still a strong upstairs hold, either way for both those sites. We'll have the 3 anchors once again. Vidiking and Souls up top, bringing in that mirror. We did not see the black mirrors last time, and I like that as a solution to the problems they were facing. To give them vision on Secret if they're going for that library take, but Grubby pushing down below, acquiring that early vertical control. And just from Solar Window,
Wow.
Miracle has found a pick those Cyber trades back.
An essential trade and an essential first kill for Cyber, who needs to build up some confidence and start having impacts in these rounds. We talked about him, the most experienced player in the lobby by a fair margin. Also the oldest. He is, in a way, the sensei of this team of FaZe. A major champion himself once upon a time, just a few years ago. And this could be his best chance to find another trophy, but he's going to have to fire up a lot more than what we've seen from him in these last few rounds.
At least he's got a kill here. His first of the series so far, so the roam working. He gets another Adrian cut down, but they're able to trade it. Finally, though, FaZe have a solid advantage, a 3v2, but Grubby's found a way into the site. That castle barricade open, only a couple rotate holes to push on in. A 2v3 plant might be possible, especially with that kill onto Handy.
2v2, Diffuser is just moments away from being planted. As Miracle has that Diffuser in pocket, he looks to try and duel this player. Vidiking's looking to get aggressive though. ACOG on this DMR. Dangerous, protected by the castle barricade. He's looking for a chance to seep his way back into the site. As Groovy repositioning, Vidiking does find something. The kill that he was looking for, eventually found. Miracle will need to perform a miracle to make this 1v2 happen. KDS and Vidiking separated, and that does open the door, just ajar, for Miracle to find something in this 1 versus 2.
Something with no flashbangs to throw around. He puts KDS to 50 HP through the wall. But that DMR is so lethal. One shot, even if Miracle had double the HP he has, would likely be the end of him. He's got such a difficult way back in, because once he tries to put that diffuser down to bait out some swings, the castle barricade is his only saving grace that these 1v1s would be a little difficult.
And so he starts to force that plant down. Who makes the first move? Vidiking and KDS peek together, and they do so to perfection. The first round found for FaZe. A little bit too late, but welcome nonetheless.
Especially with Cyber being the one to get active in that round, because even though Miracle gets the opening pick onto Souls, it's Cyber who finally has impact in this game in a way where he's actually been one of the main weaknesses for FaZe throughout rounds 2 and 3. Here, he gets 2 big picks, but also neutralizes that advantage gained by Secret. One of Secret's biggest issues inside of EUL was actually their poor entry differential. I think like -20 by the end of it overall, yet somehow qualifying but without even needing to go through the LCQ with an entry differential that bad. That's almost impressive. But Miracle smoked Souls right
Realize
there.
that was a 1-tap. That's insane.
That's ridiculous. But they're 2-2 on the entry so far this game, and 3-0 in rounds with 3-1 now. Secret are not facing the same weakness, but Cyber providing so many problems for the attack to deal with, but also Vidiking being the best anchor so far, I think, throughout this entire map. 4 rounds, he's been the best player for FaZe. Hopefully we see more people show up, but FaZe starting to put the pieces together.
Yeah, and they really couldn't have afforded to leave it any later than they did. On their defense, now they could make a sweep here and end the half even. It's got to be their goal, but this dining bomb site was pretty pitiful from them as well. This was what on the first rounds that they actually played, I believe, was this bomb site, and it was pretty rough around the edges. Yeah, they lost quite handily. They lost top floor control very easily. They just could not maintain their players upstairs. It was quite easy for Secret to pick them apart.
I think also importantly, not only was it easy for Secret to pick them apart, but one of FaZe's biggest strengths of their defense, when they get the opening pick, they have a 91% conversion rate. Wow. When they get the opening pick on defense, they almost always win these rounds. In the 2 rounds they have opening picks, they've lost, and Secret are fighting back in the opening duels anyway, depriving FaZe of that advantage entirely. Miracle, 2 rounds in a row now, finds an opening pick, and it's Cyber this time, that player on the roam. The majority of these rounds, he's had no impact or been the way his impact is giving Secret away back in. This roam has not been working, mainly because Secret are ready for it, and Cyber can't fight his way out.
I'm telling you, this is not normal for Cyber. He's playing so strangely. That was quite a poor attempt at a roam. Thankfully, Handy can take down Adrian, and that does remove all of the Lions utility from the table as well, which does give a little bit more freedom to these FaZe players, which they desperately need, especially with Cyber going down. Oh, very dangerous for Doom. He re-peaks that? Who's re-peaking Handy? He's lost his life, and he's lost the advantage as well that was gained from that opening pick. Now Handy in a bit of an awkward spot, flashed on out, but still survives, and his teammates have locked in this top floor control so far from the site. And still Secret 2 versus 4, very grim, and just going from bad to worse as well. Miracle's down, all up to Groovy now in a desperate 1 versus 4, but I'm pretty convinced that this round is done and dusted.
And even though Cyber goes down first, this is still a bit more traditional of a FaZe round. Is sure, Cyber might go down as the opening pick, found out on that roam, but the other 4 players play so well off of each other and pick the smart... Well, I was going to say pick the smart engagements. Handy tries to go for the Ferrari peak wall bang onto Groovy, but I respect it. But trolling is not sanctioned, especially when you're down 1-3. Got to keep your advantages where you have them. Put one player around the corner. Well, another one over by Piano will put Groovy down to basically not 1 HP, but a couple bullets away from death.
It's not bad, actually. Like, I mean, with that,
he could pre-fire.
He could potentially take this close fight, but no, he's not going to have the time. Nice shot, though. There is still time to make this work. This was a 1v4, now down to a 1v2. A little bit of shenanigans from FaZe to make this doable. Ooh. That drone as well is going to give away the position. Ruby might have this! Surely not!
He's around the corner.
This was never meant to happen! How does he get it so close? Thankfully, Vidiking does not let it slide, but still, Secret pretty happy with how close they managed to get that one. FaZe might have won the round, but a bit of sweat dripping down their brow after that one. They got it way too close.
Yeah, we can see Cyber laughing, but Vidiking's shaking his head. He's like, what?
I'm not happy.
He's like, boys, what the hell are we doing? We had a 1v4. Handy goes for the peek outside, and Groovy gets some nice, pre-fires and some reactions, to be fair. But if he's higher HP, he still tagged up Vidiking before he died there. If he's on higher HP, I don't know if that kill was a headshot or not from Vidiking, but that's still a very winnable 1v1 right there. FaZe are making so many of these mistakes, and even when I praise them, that sure Cyber dies, and to be fair, this praise is still valid, that the remaining 4 players are more than enough to win the round. They pick smart engagements. They know when to peek and when not to peek, except when they're on a 4v1, apparently.
They just throw,
and then they do a little trolling. But generally, that's a strength of theirs, and we saw that in round 5. Just make sure that everything that happened in this final minute and 7 seconds does not happen again.
You do need to tighten this up, because Groovy, when given the chance, will land some gnarly shots. A much-needed round win for FaZe, but you can tell the lack of celebrations, the lack of energy from FaZe really is a testament to how good Secret have been so far this game. They're still up, and they could realistically lock in a 4-2 split on their attack, which would be pretty phenomenal against the reigning world finalists. Can we say that? They're not exactly champions. They were so close to being champions with FaZe.
I mean, to be fair, I've also been pretty unabashed in my statement that based on the eye test, this is the best team in the world right now.
Yeah, everyone seems to think that, right? Like, everyone seems to be putting their money on FaZe to take championship here in Manchester. But I tell you what, I'm going to call it right now. If they continue playing like this, Carter, there's no way in hell that's happening.
I actually back at SI, I made a similar call when Furia 2-0'd Fearex, but it was like 7-4, 7-5, and I was like, if they're playing like this, they're not winning. Yeah. And then they won.
Yeah.
But to be fair, it was a 6-1 comeback, so that's my code.
If you're going to have a rough game, you want it to be at the start of the tournament.
You do.
And if FaZe is just taking a little bit of time to warm back into things here, that's fair enough.
Especially on a map that, like we said earlier, this was their permaban for a while. Haven't played it in over a calendar year, over 365 days.
Yeah, and most banned map in the last 2 years as well by a long way. This is not a map that they historically like, and maybe this was a little bit of a gamble. Just maybe they've been testing it in scrims. They wanted to test it in official. Maybe after that, they'll change their mind, and it won't be in their pool for the rest of the tournament.
And the thing we got to consider is that going back to this site, this was a round that FaZe almost won, but that Adrian somehow, on such low HP, was able to win a 1v1 against Handy. Speaking of, not Handy, but Cyber. Again, going down early, but KDS is able to find impact, able to get that 4v4. So Cyber playing a lot more passively this time, still found out. Soul's likely going to fall back soon. Both these players died in this position all the way back on that previous Bar Games attack, and now with Vidiking on low HP, again, so many options for Secret to find a way into their attacks.
But FaZe seemingly unfazed, holding these long positions, holding these solid fortified areas of the map. Vidiking, a shield to play off of, can aggressively contest here in Piano, and he finds a pick. Big on the Savage. And Souls as well unaddressed. Vidiking caught in a crossfire, over peeking, but Souls is able to trade. He's the last man standing on this extension. He repicks with the revolver, lands the damage, but not the kill. Adrian 1v3. He's clutched up in a 1v1, but he won't get it done here. Souls with the Magnum to find the final kill, and FaZe are well and truly back into this game. 3 rounds on the trot.
Yeah, 3-3 on Chalet defense, you're not going to complain about, even if the start of this half was very, very shaky. 2 good rounds to finish off that half to actually get themselves a tie game. That is very good for FaZe going into their attacking
and
side.
Momentum. Like, that's 3 in a row for FaZe.
Yeah. Momentum back in their camp. I wouldn't say dominantly. Those rounds, though, I guess 4v1 aside in round 5, even though it came down to 1v1. A lot of the rounds they won were still competitive from Secret. Still able to find advantages or fight back when they could. I mean, FaZe had to trade that back to a 4v4, but I think the biggest issue they had, just look at that operator lineup. Who's dealing with a deployable shield on that lineup? Are you throwing the Twitch at it? Are you gonna like try and firebolt behind it and burn that before they execute? Unfortunately for Secret, based on the setup that FaZe had, which, you know, to criticize a little bit, FaZe ran back the exact same setup and Secret somehow still didn't bring the proper utility. Bit of a mistake on their part. Yeah. But they're not able to deal with those shields effectively. And it allows FaZe to get the 3-3, allows them to regain that momentum. Now we'll see how Secret's defensive side on Chalet goes.
Well, I'm already loving this straight away in the operator pick phase, the prep phase, the repicks from FaZe.
Attackers are moving.
We got the Monty.
The bomb.
No Glaz, but the Montaigne. And look, FaZe were already a pretty bloody good Monty team before
Vidiking's one of the best in the world.
Yeah, I mean, Vidiking is phenomenal on this, but yeah, I personally haven't seen too much, because obviously you cast at Brazil. I haven't seen too much of these guys and how they use it post-rework of the shields, but I can only imagine that FaZe are more excited to use this operator than ever.
Vidiking is just so disciplined with the Monty, whether he's pressuring on the roam or actually going in for a plant. He knows when to unshield, he knows when to extend, and he also really knows how to play Monty 1v1s very well. Something, you know, that was kind of talked about in Atlanta was players using the Monty poorly, exposing themselves and dying in positions. Vidiking doesn't make those mistakes on the Monty, but it's also it's a very easy read to know that Vidiking is gonna pick Monty when it's available, that FaZe want to make use of his skills in that operator, which is probably why Joom has picked the Oryx. Of course, he's a very famous roaming operator. When Oryx had the 1.5, he was always picked in operator lineups as a player or as an operator who could go for kills. But with that Rima dash that the Oryx has, if you can get him into position, Vidiking, as good as he is, if the Rima dash lands...
You just can't... If you're a Monty against an Oryx, there's no way you should ever win.
Exactly. Vidiking can be as good as he wants. If a Rima dash hits him, he's going down like anybody else. But Joom cut off a bit right now! You gotta feel for Cyber this game. This has not been his day.
No, this has been one of the worst performances we've seen from him in a long time. Cyber has died every single round of this match, and he's the only one in the server who, unfortunately, has that black mark next to his name. Still not done yet for FaZe. There is still a roamer at large elsewhere. Joom continue to deal damage, but we have seen FaZe take solid map control here. And Souls is also on lockdown, covering Joom should he attempt to go for a flank through West Main. So I'm not too worried about FaZe as of yet.
I'm not, but there are still problems. Savage on the roam, of course, but Joom holding down that dining hatch the way in, and Vidiking now down.
Ow.
I'm curious if Joom got that Rima dash down. It is the Oryx with that kill. But now he's stuck.
There's 2 players not too far away from each other. Oh, one's on the other side of the wall. Never mind me. Eventually the trade comes through, but the damage has been done. The Monty has been eliminated. And it leaves Secret in another very solid position. Advanced from Miracle, though. He's caught in a bit of an awkward spot on the pillar.
He is. But remember how Secret clutched that 3v3? FaZe are in a similar position. If they can just keep Miracle at bay and maybe dodge that C4 from Adrian, they could find a way and go for this diffuser, but given the man advantage Secret has, it's much harder than that round the attack won a few rounds ago.
This Evil Eye dispatched with. Miracle's going to get concussed as well. They need to make good on this. They need to swing him and take him on down. This Maestro could be the determining factor, but he gets eliminated. A good reply, though, from Adrian. FaZe losing players by the minute, but Handy. Diffuser in hand, looks to go deep in the site, finds his pick. There's a player on the hatch. Savage could look for a flank. Handy has to force his plant on down, which means it's up to KDS to cover the C4 over the top. Plant denied. Savage to clean house. Secret firing up once again, now on their defense.
On the defensive side, something I rarely say, on both sides, one step ahead of FaZe, consistently. They have a read on Cyber's game plan. They've been able to find him in the opening pick 3 rounds in a row now, and as you said, Cyber's barely been a factor in any of these rounds, died consistently, 2 and 7 at the moment. And whether it's the opening pick or in a 3v3, finding Cyber has been giving Secret so many advantages, and there you go! Joom does Remadash Vidiking, he's not ready for it. Such a good read from Secret to deal with one of FaZe's biggest players in the attacking side, is bringing that Monty, having Vidiking play him. But even at that point, having control of the dining hatch, recognizing the proper win conditions to deal with a wine take, Secret on attack and defense have had great game plans and have executed them really, really well. And if they win another defense in a row here, I'm officially not calling the game for Secret, but they're officially going to be a serious problem for FaZe.
10 seconds to insertion.
Oh, FaZe, you're making me sweat. Where is the FaZe that we saw 13 games in a row so far this year? Like, post their side, these guys look like they were renewed with a vengeance.
Not dropped the map!
Yeah, they have not dropped the map, and that may be about to change. Secret kind of come out of nowhere. Like, let's be honest, these guys weren't by any stretch of the imagination like one of a favorite teams. You look at their last year for Team Secret, right? Stage 1, 2023, 5th place in Europe, didn't qualify for Copenhagen. Stage 2, they actually dropped down 7th to 8th place, failed to qualify for Atlanta, failed to qualify for 6th Invitational, and now they've fired up 3rd place in Europe. They've managed to get that direct seed into the major in Phase 2, and they've been looking bloody phenomenal. Now they're keeping pace with one of the best teams in the world, if not the best team in the world right now, or the favorites for the event, and they're looking bloody solid.
They are looking very, very good. Soul is changing hands, by the way, into one of the players that's looked best in this series. Savage had her in the previous round, but now Adrian, 8-3, the newest pickup, fresh-faced, 18 years old, to come into EUL for his first stage of pro play. On a roll, he played entry in T2, then goes on to hard support in Tier 1, doesn't miss a beat, now playing the Solus Roam, and it's been Joom, another one of the highlight players, the highest rated for Secret in the EUL, who's been doing so much damage to FaZe on these defenses. Opening pick, Soul's cut down. Thank God it's not Cyber, I suppose, but still a 4v5 that FaZe have found themselves in consistently. And Secret's defensive setup, still very much intact.
Going out.
FaZe need to find something.
Perimeter defense up.
One player down, haven't dismantled any of this setup. Realistically, Groovy has still got Mezzanine under lock. FaZe can't wait forever. Usually FaZe is such an active team. They look at a problem, they say, okay, we're going to use the Capital, we're going to do X, Y, Z, we're going to clear it. And we just haven't seen that from them.
We haven't. I mean, look at this setup. I'm pretty sure there's just one guy on the top floor, maybe somebody Library Stairs. Sure, you're in a 4v5, but yeah, Groovy's by himself. He's got Savage on Library Stairs, but Cyber's found a way into sight. That's one way to open the round back up.
And that means they are fully inside the site now. Cyber has control of this mirror window. He does have to worry about the bottom of main stairs. But good retake here from Secret. They've collapsed into sight. They've brought it back into numbers advantage for the Europeans. As Cyber, the buck stops with him, with the captain. Once again, he's got to cover. Adrian low HP. In fact, all of these players from Secret seemingly
this is so bad
on their last legs. It is very awkward for both teams now. Secret don't know when to push in, when to make their move, but nor do FaZe know when they're going to be safe, and they're certainly not safe with Savage above. Cyber in a 1v2, but both players low on HP. So winnable, especially with a weapon of this caliber in his hands. First kill to Ray. A 4K required. And we all know that Cyber is very much capable. Savage! He is indeed a savage man! And he's looking to fire up against the best in the world. Secret are laughing right now against FaZe.
He's walking upstairs on ADS. You know he's up there. KDS just died to him. I understand you don't know exactly where he is. I'm not asking to pre-fire, but you know he's upstairs. He's got diffuser on the window. I mean, you got to give credit to Cyber opening that round up. He finds the gap inside of the site. He's able to get that kill, a 3K afterwards. Cyber, a great bounce back. It's a shame it doesn't mean a lot in that round, though, in the end, because he's not able to win that key 1v1. And I like that read from FaZe. Don't get me wrong. Because I'm sitting there thinking, why aren't they pushing the guy on site? And what did I and Secret not realize? Oh, shit, we only got one anchor inside of the site, guys. We've just got one guy there. We've got too many people on the roam, too many people off site. But the problem is, they go in to put that diffuser down, and guess what? They never cleared out library. They're able to retake from the hatch, and diffuser never went down there. As close as it came to actually moving into a post plant, Secret were able to deny it, and that's what swung the round in their favor. The fact that KDS had to worry about library, because in a 2v3, diffuser down, he can hop out. If that's not the case, you gotta go upstairs and deal with that hatch player, and the round collapsed from there.
Oh man, that is just such a tough pill to swallow for FaZe. The round looked so good for them. They ripped the rug out from underneath Secret's feet. They had control of the site, and piece by piece they fell. A solid retake from Secret. 2 rounds away from giving FaZe their first L in 3 months.
I mean, Souls at least finds Miracle to start. We'll give them that all the way outside. Are they able to catch Miracle rotating through Soul? That is a tight angle to find a player on Al. Very impressive. And a much-needed advantage for FaZe. First time they've got the opening pick this half, but also outside of the rounds 2 and 3, it has been Secret getting these opening duels consistently, breaking away from that problem they had in EUL, in the domestic league. So FaZe in a bit more comfortable footing. But how will they react to this setup? It's a kitchen dining defense. Again, Groovy on the roam. It's 3 players up top right now. The Wamai, the Castle, and the Solus all moving around this top floor. With a 5v4, FaZe can trade this down, assuming Secret don't find a way to retake and catch an attacker off guard.
They just need to lock in. They got so much time. Slow and steady is all it takes. But Handy actually wants to get a little bit frisky with it. Look how close he is to sight right now. So close to finding an opening pick. Adrian taken very low, but now the jig is up. And Handy's position is revealed. So close to executing on a site. Adrian, don't overpeak this! The young rookie makes a very ill-advised decision, gives up another pick. Secret, this advantage that they have established for themselves seemingly dwindling. Solus has a good cutoff position as well onto the Solus of Savage. This is very awkward now for Secret. A player down, but they brought it back to an equality again.
They brought it back to an equality, and Joom still has the vertical angle, watching the position Handy wanted to go in with the diffuser. So FaZe now actually have to clear out this top floor, but they don't have the 5v4 or the 5v3 that was established by Souls and Handy. It's just even, and even with Savage low, the setup is favoring Secret. The intel is favoring Secret. FaZe need to take time to use these drones, because if they just go in to plant the diffuser, Secret have the angles to deal with it. And as they drop back down, they might just need to win these gunfights pushing into the bomb site itself, because Secret have the leg up on them in positioning.
Attackers have dropped
2 players above for Secret, 1 on site. No? Is there an inkling? Is there an opportunity here for Doom? Contesting is Cyber. He needs to win this fight. He knows exactly where this player is. The entire bomb site has been vacated by Secret. Everyone's upstairs, but the door is not as open as you might think for FaZe. They could try and force themselves in, try and force this plant down, but Groovy still above, is ready to try and deny this plant. KDS can lock it in, but this retake is oh so winnable for the Europeans. KDS dancing with death. Doom cannot find the angle through the bars. Eventually, KDS goes down. A 1v3 for Cyber. He almost made it work last round, but not to be! No, not today! Secret, they're getting this one done! 6-3 over FaZe!
3 rounds in a row on their defenses, and they have just objectively looked like the better team. In every round that they have won, Secret have looked better than FaZe. In that round in particular, FaZe get the opening pick. Miracle caught peeking or rotating, one of the two, but then Handy with a really nice individual play. Walks up short, catches Adrian, first unaware, second over peeking, 5v3. And FaZe do something that throughout these past couple months we rarely see. They don't convert an easily acquired advantage. Sure, you didn't deal with the roamers. You need to deal with Joom. But you have a 5v3. You've got flashbangs to deal with it, and they're not able to deal with that roam before Secret neutralized the advantage they had. And I like FaZe's short-term solution. They have flashbangs up top to blind Joom as they push into the site. The problem is, Joom's getting his vision back at some point. Those flashbangs aren't lasting forever, and they have a Solus up above to deny the plant as well. FaZe's solution to that problem was only going to last 3 seconds. If they don't get that kill, the round can still go Secret's way, and guess what happens? He gets that kill, they've got the vertical angles, and they've got the advantage to retake.
You can see it in the
5 seconds
faces
left.
of FaZe when we look at their cameras. These guys are not fired up. You remember in Brazil, right? These guys in the grand final. The bloody crowd was so loud, but so were these players. I mean, Vidiking has quite a reputation for himself, and they're quiet today.
Something to note, by the way, Miracle was hiding the tuber out in prep phase, prone behind and connector to dodge the droning. It's worked. FaZe only have one set of hard breaching, just the hard breach charges. So to be fair, you could go for maybe a quick take with the Ying, running through maybe down the stairs, but with the Ram, it seems they want to dedicate for a full clear and attack front side. They found Savage, that's great, but Secret, even with that, have a leg up on them in utility.
Oh, Joom. Big kill. Cyber goes down. You're right, though. Like, there is nowhere near enough hard breach to make an execute like this work for FaZe. It's a highly risky strategy with only 2 hard breach charges on Vidiking of the Ying. And I guess FaZe can make up for that by having a really strong roam clear and finding an early numbers advantage. But of course, after finding Savage, they lost Cyber. And Joom is still at large here on this roam. Soul seems to have an inkling of an idea of where he might be. And eventually the drone goes out. Adrian's also on this roam to support here in Kitchen. Now, FaZe realistically need to win this roam game, and they need to win it dominantly for a chance at taking this round.
But how bad of a position are you in when your win condition has been your biggest struggle so far, getting that opening pick or cementing an advantage for a long period of time? KDS on the hunt, but they do cut Adrian off. There was one more roamer, remember? Joom still at large.
No.
But again, both kills of Jooms have neutralized the advantages acquired by FaZe, and he can get away. There might be vertical angles on his position, but nobody's in an exact spot to cut him off, and he's gunning for more. Joom's got to be careful not to overplay his hand. But if he were to get a 3rd kill on this roam, or waste even more time, I mean, we're at 1:15 seconds left. If he wastes 30 more seconds, I don't care if Vidiking has 4 Candelas. They've got the 2 brows to slow down the flood, Vulcan packs on the site to delay the execute. Secret, 1 minute remaining, have a winning hand, and they don't even need to play it yet.
And he will drone out Joom. But he can fall back to side. I mean, this could not get any better for Secret. You said they've got a winning hand. They've got a royal flush, and all they're doing is now waiting for FaZe to show theirs. 45 seconds to play. Where must this push come through?
We're getting vertical. They're just opening this with 40 seconds left. The efficacy of this roam game cannot be overstated. These Candelas and flashbangs have to land. It is the only thing FaZe have to make up for how little time we have remaining. 25 seconds left. What do they have to save this map?
World champion caliber players must step up now because Secret are looking to give FaZe their first loss in a hell of a long time. Joom has been the man of the hour. He goes for more and he gets it. Handy stands between Secret and the opening game, looking victorious. He finds the double, but guess who it's up against? The man of the hour, Joom, and looks to force this down. There will be a 4-second window for Joom to lock in this kill. Handy forces the diffuser down, but there's Joom! They've taken down the tournament favorites! Team Secret, out of nowhere, making a massive statement at this major.
And it wasn't even close. Like, that was unequivocally Secret's game. Round by round by round, even the ones FaZe were winning, it was close consistently. That is as big a statement as a team could make. FaZe Clan bring out a new pick, so confident that they've got a chalet worth playing, that they bring it out in their opening game of the tournament. And you don't just beat them. You 7-3 them when FaZe, sure, Cyber may be underperforming. FaZe looking a little sleepy. They were still recognizing their mistakes and adapting when they could, and Secret were beating them anyway. When FaZe are on point and using their biggest strength, introspection and fixing their mistakes, and you 7-3 them, I guess Secret's on everybody's radar now.
They certainly are. 3rd place in Europe. They've already thwarted the tournament favorites in the opening round of the Swiss. And you can see the utter elation on these Team Secret players' faces. They are in disbelief of what they have just achieved. They got dealt the most challenging opponent in the bracket here in the opening round of the Swiss. And the look on Vidiking's face tells you everything that you need to know. He has no idea what has just tournament it has been for Secret, and they're only 1 game in. They've already taken down FaZe.
Zero, thank you very much, gentlemen. What a game. Who would have expected it? FaZe Clan losing to the underdogs of Team Secret. I'm here with Joom on the interview. Thank you very much for joining us. How does it feel to take down one team that many would consider the best in the world?
It feels great, actually. It just feels great.
The most German reaction I've ever heard. But congratulations on this. Of course, it takes a lot to prepare for an opponent like this. Is this what you feel has been your secret, that you knew who you were coming up against, or you can plan for it?
Obviously, we're ready for that playstyle, and at the end of the day, we just played what we are good at in our confidence playstyle. So we were just ready for them, to be honest.
I mean, everybody was popping off. It looked like you were locking down the entire game here. What was the atmosphere in the team through this? Because, you guys as a whole have not had an experience to play against a team on this level offline, ever.
I think everyone was hyped. We have 3 people playing their first major in the ever. So I think everyone just wants to win and do their best.
It's just pure vibes on it. And the vibes were definitely going good, eh?
Yeah, it was great.
All right, well, Jum, anything you'd like to say to the fans out there supporting Secret?
Thank you for the support, guys. Keep it up.
There you go. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we have an extended interview with Adrian joining us on the desk. We'll see you in a couple minutes.